Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Smite Pro League Europe game number 2, where it's going to be Exposed Secrets versus Team SoloMid coming up in just a moment. My name's hi-rez, that is Drybear, and we are really looking forward to this game, and a couple of teams that have struggled a little bit here in the European Pro League.
Yeah, they've had a lot of trouble, and one of those is going to be Exposed Secrets. Of course, we're going to watch them right now here against TSM. TSM struggled in the beginning, but it seems like they're hitting their stride. Watching Game Hunter yesterday,
yeah.
Oh man, he played that Loki like a champion. We saw Kibo Fred take off as well. Lobster finally hitting that mark, so I think this is going to be the point where TSM is looking to continue that momentum forward against Exposed Secrets. Now, we did see Exposed Secrets innovate a lot in the first week, and a lot of it fell flat. We saw the Odin Freya with Zeus, which looked kind of weird, and then we saw a lot of combinations as they kind of progressed forward. And the question is, can Exposed Secrets actually find a good way to get the good, solid win today and then move forward?
Oh, is there a good way to face TSM? Is a little bit of the question there. Wow, I actually look like I am in Miami Vice right now. I didn't realize that my shirt collar was out of my jacket, but... speaking of things being in other things and ready to go, the players are in the lobby, and the picks and bans are ready.
Gets me every time. Picks and bans are ready, guys. We're hopping into TSM versus Exposed Secrets. TSM on the left side of your screen, and Exposed Secrets on the right side of your screen. First ban, first pick goes to TSM, and they're probably looking to take away some of the characters they may not want, but of course you have to keep in mind that the strategy between being first and second pick changes very drastically. Second pick always gets 2 selections rather than 1, so TSM is going to favor getting 1 single pick, which most likely will be Zhonghui. But then again, Game Hunter doesn't always like playing those kind of tanky mages, so we'll see which way they want to go. We know Loki worked very well for them last time. They may look to pick it up again. Oh, there's the ban. Never mind.
No, they will ban out Loki.
Never mind.
In addition to the Mercury there. And also worth pointing out, Exec playing with the Half Devil today.
The Half Devil coming out here. Of course, Half Devil was on the original roster for C9 before they expanded and has yet to find a home yet. It looks like he's going to be hopping on the sub here for Exposed Secrets. Across the way, we do have Tricksteg subbing out as well for TSM, and Zimpstar, their manager, is going to be stepping in to help him out. But you know, as far as history goes, Zimpstar actually came into the scene very successfully, but since he moved in a managerial role, he hasn't really been able to kind of successfully replace players very effectively.
We'll see, though. Tricksteg definitely having connection issues last time they played. I mean, he was had a very hard time staying connected to the game yesterday, so we'll see if Zimp, I would expect Zimp to have a better connection. He is from Sweden, and Galv has very good internet, supposedly. So Zhonghui is going to be locked in here for Team SoloMid as their first pick. Response picks from Exec, like it'll be Rom for Fun Ball, a very, very liked god for him. Will they take the Geb as well to follow it up?
Maybe
or will they go for that Nemesis style counter pick on Zhonghui, or the Ra? Ra been very, and Hubble also available, but Rom definitely be locked in here. Will it be
or Nemesis as always?
Yeah, I mean, it's that counter to Zhonghui.
Well, we haven't seen it been, you know, as far as like directly at Zhonghui. It works well as a mechanic, but we haven't seen it like excel, right? Nemesis has more been, I'm going to burst someone, or I'm going to target the back line and try and kill them. We haven't seen a whole lot of Nemesis specifically targeting Zhonghui, although it is a pretty good interaction. So it's weird, right? We had the same thing, right? Where you pick Freya against Loki in the long lane, where Sai was playing Freya to counter the banish, or counter the decoy, I should say, with the banish. Again, a good interaction that wasn't implemented directly to counter. So it seems like players are kind of favoring, hey, this character's really good right now.
Well, Geb going to be locked in now from Team SoloMid, and will they take something for Hubwa-like in the solo lane? They will not. They will pick an early on her for Smek. This is Smek's favorite god. I think Smek probably has the most professional on-her games on record, at least in the last few months. Before that, it was hard to say. When it was just Artemis and on-her, a lot of people played on-her, but now there's been a lot of diversity in that hunter role. On-her has been something that only really Smek has continue to keep to the forefront. Exposed Secret's going to ban out Hubwa and pick Freya here. I think they saw that TSM was taking a look at Hubwa as their second pick overall.
Well, Freya going to be locked in here on the side of Exposed Secrets. I imagine going to the jungle to Frostiak. He actually does love a lot of Freya play. Half Devil stepping in. Looks like he's going to be going straight into the support role, as he has always been destined to do. A great support player indeed. Vulcan's going to be banned out here against Exposed Secrets. A target against Shadow Nightmare. Just making sure he doesn't get that strong poke in the mid lane.
It's so silly. Let's talk about this for a second. Vulcan, low tier pick, like in competitive play.
Yes.
Banned almost all the time because they're like, if anyone plays Vulcan at an even halfway competent professional level, they're like, we just don't want to play against that. Yeah. Even though it's not considered very strong overall, it's just like, no one wants to play against it. It's kind of like Aphrodite, right? It's like, I just don't want to play against this.
Yep.
It's good, but it's not
just
amazing.
Don't put it in my game. I don't want it in my game.
I just don't want to play against it, yeah.
That's it.
I mean, it's purely it. I don't think they're worried about Vulcan taking over the game. It's just their mid laners like, please, guys, Don't make me play.
Well, Ra's going to be locked in here for Exposed Seekers. Going to have that heal support for the solo or mid lane, depending on how they want to run it. Across the way, 2 selections to make for TSM, and Giannis is still available for some strange reason that the Cosmos will have to answer for me because I'm not entirely sure why. But Giannis is going to be locked in here for... actually, I do know why. Freya had to be value picked there by Exposed Secrets because you can't give it to Cuvo. So they also realized that Giannis is kind of like a secondary pick for TSM, so they realize hopefully Giannis makes it through. But then if you're evaluating that Freya pick to make sure Cuvo doesn't get it, why would you pick Ra over Giannis?
Because you're worried about the solo lane? Well, what is their solo laner here? Freya?
Their solo laner here is going to be...
It's going to be Freya, right? I mean, it's
Freya.
Maybe Nemesis? Unlikely, but possibly Nemesis?
It's Freya.
It should be Freya, you would expect,
Freya.
right? Yeah, as they swap it around, it is going the way of Zaylia. So Zaylia will be taking over. What is it with Europe in the Freya solo?
I don't know. Here's the thing we saw before, and he's going to be going up against a Giannis. And so Freya versus Giannis is not a happy matchup for Freya. For a lot of reasons, right? Just from the basic first level analysis, Freya's push is weak for the first 6-7 levels. Giannis' push is kind of weak, but it's scaled. It starts hitting that like level 4, level 5 area where you start to clear the whole wave very easily. But here's the thing. Freya's push goes, as far as like, it's weak, it's better. Okay, it's pretty good. Giannis is like, it's weak. Okay, it's really good.
Yeah. You will no longer ever control this lane. And we haven't seen the Game Hunter on Giannis yet.
True.
Will he?
He generally doesn't play mages.
Will he be the big Game Hunter? Yeah, he normally does not play mages. Yeah. That's absolutely correct. But he does play a lot of hyper damaging style solo laners, the Mercuries and the Vamanas, and Giannis not as resilient as the Vamana escapability, probably on par with Mercury. Mobility as well, but the damage definitely trumps both of them until the hyper stages of the game when those physical carries come online. So we'll see what he's able to accomplish with the Giannis. Does he have enough tenure on it to make it worthwhile? And a rare non-legendary gold skin here on the side of the God Hunter with his blue and gold Giannis. So clearly doesn't have a lot of games under his belt with it on any game modes.
Well, we'll see. I mean, it's all up in the air. And I like the fact that people are picking different characters, right? And they have this kind of like, I'm going to try this out, I'm going to try this out. I mean, that's how picks have started to grow over the history of Smite. But, it's also that kind of thing, right, where, you see this line of thought where this character gets picked, and it doesn't seem to find much success, but they're still trying to push it home. I see a lot of people in chat, wondering, will Freya be able to win this lane? Solo, Freya weak, strong, whatever the case may be. So I think that's going to be a big point here for TSM to really kind of shut that down, especially with a Giannis there. Now, Game Hunter first week didn't perform. Had a very tough time kind of activating, but this week he came out very strong, showed everyone what his Loki is like, and of course we're able to get a very strong defeat or a victory. I believe it was over
Who
Mortality.
Did he bribe?
Yeah, so they beat Mortality yesterday, able to take that win there. So
I mean, like who did Game Hunter bribe to get to go up against Solo Lane Freya
as
games
Loki
in a row?
Yeah,
he did it against Loki. Now he's gonna get to do it as Giannis, and Freya not really a great solo laner.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll see.
Just say it. Like, it's not
really
good.
The question is, are we going to see like a hog Freya? Because if you're really concerned about that push, you can kind of backpedal and kind of just pulse. But the AoE is just not going to be there. So it looks like there's going to be a little bit of trouble with that one. But honestly, and I'm excited to see this match here. It really comes down to the fact that we have to make sure that you're looking at it as a value pick, right? You realize that Freya's going to be there for the late game. You're going to have that late game scaling. You're going to have that late game control. You're going to be able to kind of get the single target damage. It's going to work well with Rom. Rom and Freya can both go up in the air, single out one person, kill them off. You get the same thing with the Raw snipe, and the Nemesis can zone with Emir. So I think there's a lot of combo there for mid and late game, but again, it is going to be that laning phase that it is a little bit weaker.
Half double perform on Emir. I mean, he's been out of the pro scene for about 2 months here. A little bit interesting here. I mean, Emir has been a very, very miss with one-hit style of pick. I mean, It's worked for Frezzy, and it hasn't worked for anyone else in any role so far. And Half Devil, like we said, he's been out of the pro scene for about 2 months now. Is he going to be able to play at a high enough level with Emir to really do well in this game?
Well, we've seen him make some incredible plays, and it's some of his most successful characters in the history of his competitive career are characters like Odin, characters, like Geb, where they're just like very tanky, meaty people that just get in the way there.
Team fight oriented.
I mean, he was one of the few that made Odin as strong as he was at his peak, is that he just played him all the time and learned how to play him. So maybe Emir is going to fit that role. He's going to be able to kind of come out and get the initiation. But one thing we saw every single time we watch Emir is that either you're hyper aggressive or you're not in there at all, because Emir does not have escape potential. You can't be floating around counter warding and warding in the darkness by yourself. There's no face checking for warding. You can't just walk into the enemy jungle and be like, I'm going to put a ward here. Oh wait, there's 4 people. I'm dead.
Yeah. Like a Geb definitely has a little bit more options when it comes to things like that. And well, so far with Amir, it's even more simple than that. It's been either you're Frezzy or you're losing the game and you're feeding. I mean, realistically,
Yeah.
I think Amir's just kind of pulling it out of the air. I would wager to guess they're probably somewhere in the 5 and 30 range when it's not Frezzy playing.
Yeah. Rough. Very rough.
There's been multiple
Frezzy, the only person
games.
finding success. I mean, yeah, shout out to Frezzy. That's right. I mean, he deserves the victory there. And it seems like Amir is a much more complicated character than people are giving him credit for. He's going to be rocking that nuclear winter Amir. Just quickly run through the teams here, guys. If we hop into this match, bomb side of the map, of course, we'll be Team SoloMid. So if you're a fan, give it up. Hopping on your screen right now is going to be Smek on her. We got Zimstar in that support role with Geb. Cubo Fred in the jungle with that Thanatos. We've got Lobster in the mid lane with Junkoi, and Game Hunter is going to be playing Janus.
Their opponents today fighting out of the red side of the minimap, right side of your Spectre UI, and top side defending that Titan of Chaos. It is Exposed Secrets. It'll be Zalia in the solo lane as Freya, Frostiak in the jungle as Nemesis, Funballer and Half Devil combining for the dual lane as Ram and Ymir, and it'll be Shadow Nightmare, the captain, in the mid lane as Ra.
And that heal is going to be a big part here. That's one of the reasons why we saw Dignitas win 2 days ago, is they just kind of piggybacked off that raw heal and slow combination to kind of really just scale into late game. So we'll see how well Shadow Nightmare can kind of activate here. Shadow Nightmare colloquially has not seen a lot of stat success as a player in the first week of the Pro League, so we'll see what he can do today. Exposed Secrets is sitting on a very, very stout 1-2 right now. They're actually the team, it's them and Thirst who have played only 3 games so far. So, they definitely have a little bit more room to show themselves, but starting 1-2 is rough.
Actually, check that. It's Funballer that's going to be the captain for Exposed Secrets, of course. Not Shadow Nightmare. Shadow Nightmare was the captain of the team that then became Coast that Funball was on. Hey, old Smite history, he's the captain of the team that him and Funball are on. But it is Funball this time taking the reins. Old Kieran. Let's see what he's able to do.
Well, to do is a lot. I mean, the list is growing right now, and so Exposed Secrets really have to start going through all their to-dos, and one of them is going to be getting Shadow Nightmare up onto a pedestal here and make sure that he actually gets enough gold to out-farm Lobster, because it's very difficult to be under-farmed against a Zhang Kui like that. Left side, Zimstar going crazy here. Frost Breath on 2, looking for more damage. No Glacial Strikes. Glacial Strikes going to land, slowing down Zimstar. Gebshield will be forced out there, but a lot of free damage from Exposed Secrets on the left side lane. This is pretty heavy for Smek and Zimstar taking that much damage early on for free.
Well, and the big question here for TSM is, can Zimstar perform? And look at this duo lane already sitting fairly low to the Half Devil and Funballer duo lane of Zimstar and Smek. And, is Geb truly so easy that even Zimstar can play it?
Well, we'll see. I mean, Zimstar definitely has been... And here's the thing. If you're managing a top-tier team, you're going to get a lot of information and a lot of people to talk to and bounce ideas off of. So he's still going to have the knowledge. It just comes down to whether or not he can land his skill shots and really get his head in the game, not so much of whether or not he knows what to do. Because you got to know that he knows what to do at this point. Shenaimer taking a lot of harassment in the mid lane here, as, of course, Exorcism will heal Lobster right back up. We do see invasion coming out from Cubo Fred trying to take that movement speed buff. Looks like it was secured successfully by Frostiak. Cubo Fred looking to poke on the right side, forcing Zalia back to the lane. But look at this. Game Hunter is just zoning him. He's slowly pushing the wave, kind of pushing Zalia back into the tower and waiting for the mistakes to happen. He's got the portal. He's got the threshold. Zalia is in a really tough spot here.
Left side lane, Zimstar going to defend the orange buff early invade potential coming out from Funballer and Half Devil. Yeah, I mean, he's looked like Zimstar's, actually been keeping up pretty well. Realistically, there's when you think about Smite Pro Team coaches, there's only really 2 names that come to mind, and that's going to be Emil Witchen,
right,
who's the manager for Coast, who's a tremendous kind of theory crafter. He's a really young guy, but he does a lot in terms of keeping their head in the game and giving them information about what else is going on around the league. And then there's Zimstar for TSM,
right,
who's incredibly hands-on, super involved as the manager. In fact, a lot of times, pro teams will have kind of quote-unquote managers that are, a buddy or what have you, but Zimstar's been very, very good for Team SoloMid.
Well, of course, we do have Octane Pro stepping into the manager spot there for Mortality. We have, of course, Anatoly for Dignitas. So a lot of those are strong. And, of course, Kred actually coached I5 for a long time as well.
Now
so
coaches a Chinese team as
well.
Yeah,
that's right.
Old
So
man
we've got that Chinese coach going on.
But I mean, realistically, when you talk, the top coaches are, when you talk about the guys that are, these ex-players, and Zimstar is very, very involved with the operations of the team and extremely, extremely hands-on with the management and play style of the guys. And, it's a little bit different than what we see from Anatoly, where he's really a sub that's watching the games and helping them and in a very analytical mind. Not so much the manager, although Anatoly is definitely out of that crew, definitely the most business-minded of the guys, and that's a little bit why he has taken over that role. But we'll see if Anatoly and Octane Pro notably kind of come into this role and become these coaches in front of the teams. But it's definitely the
right
case.
side lane looking for the kill on Zalia. Up in the air goes Cubo Fred. It's the scythe. This is silence. Not in time though. Up in there he goes. He's a little more damage. Ultimate coming out from Game Hunter. Gonna hit it. Zalia gets hit by the great Kamehameha and gets taken out there. It didn't even look like he was KO Ken, but it wasn't necessary. Very low on HP is Zalia. So first blood goes to Team SoloMid.
Well, you know, and that's what you like to see when you pick up a Thanatos. You're getting it because you want those early kills, even more so than something like a Freya or other aggressive style junglers. Well, Thanatos is able to take those early rotations, especially to the right side, coming out of the Fire Giant Pit. Such a hard gank to stop.
It's a very difficult game to stop. I mean, at that point, you're forced to pop the ultimate, but you move so slow while you're in the air that once you land on the ground, you're just dead to rights if you're not in a good position. So he did the best he could, but really it comes down to Cubo Fred playing that Thanatos at a very high level, being able to come over there and gank properly with that ultimate initiation. And, getting extra assist on him early is going to make a big difference here. As much as you hate to admit it, giving kills to Thanatos just makes him even better than he already is in the early game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if he gets, well, we'll see. Okay, let's actually take a moment and think about this. We will see if Cubo Fred does go for the early pen boots on the back of that first kill. If you get them super duper early, Cubo Fred sitting on 800 gold. He's getting fairly close, about 300 more gold until he's able to finish those off, and he may be able to snowball. We'll see what he wants to do here. Let's take a look at the junglers overall. It's going to be Fred versus Frostiak this time, and well, Frostiak, you may know him from the original Smite EU Gamescom LAN. He was the young man with the fancy mullet. Here, you can see he has grown up a little bit since last we saw him, but you have Fred with the big advantage in KDA, GPM as well. Frostiak definitely been struggling so far. Fred shading over this right side, but not going to go in.
It's tough, right? But Frostiak really hold on to his own. 386 GPM, one of the lowest in the SPL currently. But Cubo, I mean, TSM was losing for a long time, but Cubo Fred was the shining star. He was still able to keep his KDA high, keep his GPM high, and really control the game state transitions from early to mid to late, even though his team was losing. So Cubo definitely being escalated up to the higher echelon of play as he does start the game 0-0 and 1 with that kill on the right side. He's going to be heading home here to see what he decides to pick up. I imagine he Warrior Tabi or Ninja Tabi. What will it be is the question. Looks like he's just going to go home, buy some consumables maybe. Looks like something Warrior Tabi actually as he's waiting for the gold. Yeah, so Warrior Tabi. There's two different styles of play for Thanatos. It's the Shing build, full CDR, or it's going to be more like the Cubo Fred style where you go for the hard pen and hard burst damage.
I think that so far the pen has been more successful in professional play, giving you that early damage. Lobster's going to try to turn this one around. Frostiak taking a lot of damage. One more ghost going to come out, knocking him enough to kill off the Nemesis there, but will make continued jungle a little bit difficult. Game Hunter looking for a final shot on Azalea, will miss and take a tower shot for a shovel. In the meantime, Funball is getting a lot of in-hands here on the Smek, who's also taking archer damage, trying to hold them out of tower range, but unable to do so the Lion.
Why would you take so much free damage there just to defend the tower? I mean, Smek's going to have to go home here. Mid-camp was
for like
shot
60
there by
gold.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably even less than that. I mean, it's probably like 40. Actually, it's going to be like 13 so it's per minion, and there was 3 of them. So, yeah, probably around 40 gold or so. Little bit interesting, but he's going to take some damage there. Mid-camp was sniped by Shadow Nightmare, popped his ultimate, and went on home just to secure it for his team. But man, I think the story of this game so far is the fact that Game Hunter is just putting Zalia in a box and not letting him out here. Zalia has pushed back so very far. He is struggling to stay up with these minions. Frostiak maybe helping here, coming out on the right side. But, we got Freya and Nemesis grouping up against the Giannis. Neither of those characters are good at getting over walls. I mean, as soon as he gets a portal off, you can't kill him.
Yeah, no strong leaps there. I think they were definitely expecting it to be the Zhang Kuei solo and the Giannis mid.
Right.
Here. And Freya having a better matchup against that Zhang Kuei is why I think they picked her into it. But to that play that Smek had there where he was taking all that damage, I think the answer is clear here. Now, it was because he's finishing off a Transcendent, so he did go back right afterwards. That extra gold did help him finish it off, and they're going to take an early Gold Fury stat here. Shadow Nightmare has sniffed it out, but it's already so low. Gold Fury to fall. Rom ultimate coming up. Xsec going to throw out the snipe, and actually Shadow Nightmare is going to be able to get that one. He steals that away from them with a brilliant time draw snipe.
Funballer actually didn't have vision there. He didn't really have... All he saw really was that they were doing the Gold Fury, and of course it was cues from Shadow Nightmare. That's why that last shot was in the middle of nowhere. It was like an open pasture, right? He's like, please be walking this way because I can't see over the Gold Fury pit. But it was a great play by Expo Secrets, and honestly a bad read by Zimstar as well, not realizing that ultimate was going to come out. I mean, you could tell if Ross coming towards the Gold Fury...
Like they only have Hog 1 and Hog 2, so Q Fred tries to Hog 2 it and just get it down and cleared faster. I'm not sure that they saw the rotation coming out from the Raw there. Even though they did have a ward, I mean, they had ward vision of that. Just a misplay by TSM there and a great opportunity for Shadow Nightmare to throw an ultimate, and he does take it away from him.
Yeah, well, it really it comes down to just a bad read, right? That's all it is. I mean, you look at it, see, if Raw is heading towards an attempt at Gold Fury, what's he going to do? He's going to pop his heel down, press his 1, and ult immediately. He's just going to shoot that right down the center and look for a kill.
Yeah, for sure.
The second he sees it. And so, I don't know why you would spend so much time just staring and watching, especially if you don't have the Hog 3 secure with that. So that kind of just like put them into a bad spot where TSM was like, hey, we've got this, and then Explosive Heroes has like Shadow Nightmare sees it and says, okay, this is mine. I'm taking this, deal with it. And again, just a bad read and bad preparation for TSM.
Yeah, throws out the snipe and does take that away from there, and almost actually picks McCall into Smack as well, who was sitting at just under about 100 HP after that snipe did come through. And you got to wonder there, should it have been Smek or Cuvo Fred, or even Zimp? Cuvo Fred with the Hog too. It could have very well just been Zimp to roll out there and try to zone out the Raw a little bit. I think that's where they failed, I think.
Well, I think it's going to come down to Hunters as well. We're going to see a lot of good play from Funballer. He farms incredibly well. Does like that stacking as well. But let's look at the Hunter lineup here. Smek at 2.9 KDA across the way. It's 2.3 for Funballer. 434 and 447. So they're actually pretty close in GPM and KDA. A slightly more win percentage for TSM. But again, like I was mentioning at the beginning of this match, Explosive Secrets has played tied for last, or I guess highest for least amount of matches played. They only played 3 matches where everyone has played 4 or 5.
How do you say that? Tied for the highest.
Tied for the highest at least.
They have.
I started the sentence and I was like, I gotta finish strong.
I don't even know. I
gotta finish strong. I was like, they're tied for the highest.
My brain.
But it's last.
I'm gonna start drooling here.
And it's first. You know what it was? I had a thought and I looked at your coat on the camera.
I gave you the shimmy. You got the shine.
First for last.
They're the first of the last place, first place finish.
Firstly,
win losers.
Yes, right. Awesome, greatest.
The worst at being the best at being great.
That's right. It's the motion. It's the. Have you heard of jerk before?
Like the dance?
No, like the physics jerk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what jerk is? Yeah.
Yeah.
The acceleration of the acceleration?
Acceleration of the acceleration. So there's the acceleration, which is the rate at which velocity change.
Hey!
This is the rate at which acceleration change. And that's where we're at right now. We're at that level.
We're jerking?
Yeah, we're at the jerk level.
Okay.
Jerking. Back to the match, though, guys. On the screen, you see TSM up against Exposed Secrets. We're tied 1-1, and Exposed Secrets is in the lead by some small miracle, but I would call it a chicken here, as Exposed Secrets' Shadow Nightmare comes over and hits a very powerful raw snipe. That searing pain comes on through, and a lot of pain was felt by TSM when they lost that Gold Fury and a kill.
Yeah, that should have never happened. That's so silly that happened in a Pro League game. That they give up an early Gold Fury to a raw snipe. Right. Like, that's like old school, back before there was execution rate on Hog. I mean, we barely ever see that happen anymore. But left side lane, there's Geb ultimate coming out just to save Smek. He's just trying to reposition there, as Funball and Half Devil had a very, very nice opportunity there to put some damage out. And, I'm not sure. They used the Geb ultimate there, as I mentioned, to prevent some damage from coming out. There wasn't a lot of kill potential, I don't think, though.
Not a lot of kill potential, but that's really going to change very soon, especially as players start to get a little bit more gold. I mean, you have a lot of kill potential on either team, right? Thanatos high burst, on her high burst, Yana's high burst, Crossway Freya, Nemesis Rom, Ra even with that snipe there, definitely. So I think TSM's going to kind of peel this back and say, okay, let's go back to basics. Let's make sure we get everything we possibly can. Going for the right camp, they're going to get it. Frosty X going to smack Lobster in the butt skis, but he's not going to deal with that. He's going to walk away from that fight. Left camp looks like it went to Exposed Secrets, even though we did see Zimstar in the area there. So far, look at the gold numbers. It's tying off at 1K for Exposed Secrets, and TSM has to have a response.
They don't want to get hit skis in the butt skis.
That's right. Butt skis is a rough place to get hit.
Never want to get hit in the butt skis.
Sometimes it causes jerking.
Well, where have we even gone to at this point? Let's take a look. Shadow Nightmare with that Gold Fury steal and his mid lane farm. Top farmer in the game, 5,900 gold to his name, but not far behind his game hunter, 5,880. And that's a lot of farm for Giannis. And he's going to have a Warlock Sash as well. But hold that thought, left side of the lane. There's a big fight coming out as Cubo Fred gets a kill. Shadow Nightmare's actually picking up a double. Cubo finding a double of his own. They're going to continue in onto Frosty after there's a Rom snipe out. Cubo going through the portals, trying to dodge, will do so as well. Game Hunter with a snipe across the map. Picks up goal to Frosty. Now it's Azalea on his tail. Just too fast so with the sprint and threshold. Is Game Hunter going to turn around Azalea now with additional scaling. Gets the shotgun blast. Not going to be enough to find a kill just yet. Freya forced to beads out of the portal. Funballer going to take some dot damage for his trouble, but double kills coming out on either side. Fight going the way of TSM, however, as Game Hunter picks up the third kill.
Two smart plays there. Oh, Bandit came out of Game Hunter. Go up in the air, you go. Let's go. But two smart plays there. One for TSM, one for Exposed Secrets for the tail end of that fight. We saw Cubo Fred kind of backing in and going into the fight, trying to get a kill on Funballer. And then once the card landed from Lobster, they knew they had the slow on top, and they were able to kind of isolate him. But they played very cautiously, very slow. Nice backbait from Game Hunter, looking for the damage there on Funballer. Not going to be able to find it as he heads on home again. But Cubo Fred was going forward, backed off, going forward, backed off. And, you know, realistically, what they didn't see was the fact that Xaylia was in the jungle next to them with an ultimate available. And the second they committed to Funball, they would have died. So it was a smart play by Funball to sit there and bait out the engagement. And it was even smarter play from QO Fred and Lobster to recognize the situation and back off.
QO Fred has his Jotun's Wrath finished now at about the 11.5 minute mark. It's a really, really nice timing on that, sitting on over 400 gold a minute. In fact, the only player in the game besides Shadow Nightmare over 400 gold a minute with the exclusion of the solo laners. So doing very nicely for himself, I think, there. And with the Jotun's Wrath online, it's a lot of flat pen between that and the boots. His number 2 also adding a bit more. Of course, not max yet. He's not going to be over cap, but it does give him a lot of snowball potential here. And Cuba Fred has a decent angle on Shadow Nightmare in the mid lane. This could be trouble.
Damage on top, going to find it. A lot of damage there. Slow coming out. Can actually get on the backside. That speed of lights making a big difference. Ultimate from Giannis and dunk there as Lobster got the kill, not Cubo Fred. As we see that ultimate coming across the map and streaming into the left side of the lane. But Lobster able to get the last tick there. I think it came down to the fact that Game Hunter hit that ultimate on Giannis, and that's the power of Giannis, right? Even if he's across the map, he can still influence the fight.
Yeah, and you know, Exposed Secrets over here, they have, well, Cuba Fred going to eat some damage from Xaylia, but maybe this is a great game for Lobster and or Zimstar, probably both to be buying the old Winged Blade. As take a look at this roster from Exec. You have Freya that has the Fatalis plus a slow,
right.
Frostyak that's all slow, Funballer that's all slow, Shadow Nightmare who's got a long duration slow, and Half Devil who has a long duration slow.
Oh, Funballer going to die on the left side there. Good rotation from Cubo Fred. Big burst on top of it. In the meantime, we're going to see the right side tower dropping very low. Game Hunter about to get a kill on to Xaylia, forcing him home yet again. Xaylia going to the right side to be able to defend it here. That was actually hi-rez who was defending, or Frostyak that was defending the right side. There is no hi-rez here. I don't know why my brain keeps going to hi-rez. I think it's just
he played Freya last game.
It's the Nemesis and the Freya. I mean, that's all he plays, so it's just like that. But Goldfear started up here. Blink from Half Devil. Ultimate coming out as well. Going to buy some time
kind of premature from the Half Devil here.
Yeah, but Hog 3 looking for Zimstar. Searing Pain again! Shadow Nightmare with a double kill takes him down, and the Gold Fury still goes at TSM, but what a play that was. The double kill on the Gold Fury, but might be dying for his troubles. Looking for the kill. Frostyak going through the portal landing on top. Smack coming over, impaled the wall. He goes. There goes the unstable vortex, and Frostyak goes down. Shadow Nightmare is still alive somehow, some way. Xaylia is pushing forward here, but what a fight it's been so far. 1, 2, 3. Ultimate coming through the wall. He's going to teleport. Gets through the portal. Still survives. Xaylia dies for his trouble. Killing spree for Lobster. And Shadow Nightmare is still there. Oh my god.
And Funball there actually takes this guy in the ROM ultimate in between the tier 1 and tier 2 and just didn't have enough range to put any damage out on any of the carries that were getting low there. So an unfortunate misplay from him there. And it actually was the Ethereal staff from Game Hunter, not the Warlock Sash, that ended up saving his life. That extra HP bailing him out there quite nicely. But this is looking like Shadow Nightmare of old, where he was a dominant mid laner at one point in Europe on the back of the rod. He's had tremendous success so far.
Team Pig going to land on Lobster. Not going to kill him off, but definitely will send him home packing. Mid tower was successfully defended by Lobster. Smart play there. And we're really seeing the difference that, you know, Transcendence can make for an on her. I mean, the Impale did a ton of damage. The in-hands were hitting really, really hard. And you have to combine the fact that he has natural slows and natural penetration plus natural damage scaling while they're standing in the Santa's Obelisk. I mean, he does have a lot in his kit that allows him to do more damage if he has damage because of the natural pen. And so we're going to see that there with Smek picking the Transcendence, now going to War Top. He has a little bit more penetration to his name. And when he decides to stick to a target, even this early on, it's making a big difference.
Look at the ward coverage here from TSM.
Wow.
There's blue dots all over the map, and there's just the one lonely red team ward from XX sitting on the left side. And that's not where you want to be. I mean, it's just not. They have such little vision, and there's even counter wards out and available on the side of TSM. And they're not going to find any counter wards just yet, but man, the vision is just so different. I mean, the wards start coming up from XX, but you can see how they lost that last fight to the rotations.
Yeah, the rotations really make or break a team if they can't get there in time. And some people say, "Oh, I was only late by a few seconds. It's not a big deal." But team fights end in those that kind of time frame there.
Initiating here. There's a Geb ultimate used, but they're not going to be able to follow it up with too much. Half Devil going to find some freezes. Bede's going to be used. Ultimate coming out from Lobster. He's going to try to go back to the front lines and bail his team out. Ultimate coming out, not going to be enough. Ultimate Shadow Nightmare finds yet another kill, crashing into Hugo Fred, finding himself a kill on the back of that Thanatos. Double player banish coming out. Smek taking a lot of damage, as is Fred. Fred to fall here, likely to this Rom snipe. Indeed, he will. Smek quite low as well. He's going to go down to Zalia. This is Exposed Secrets fight for now. Game Hunter doing the best he can to hold the lane, but it's a 1-for-4 trade there as Exec comes out way ahead, but can they capitalize on it? No Gold Fury available. They'll get the mid tower, but what else can they get to get themselves back into this game? Only 800 gold separating the teams now, 300 experience, and Exec's going to take a commanding lead actually on the back of this if they can find the tier 2.
They're looking for the tier 2. Damage is going to come down. The minions will be falling. Funballer taking a lot of damage. Game Hunter doesn't have an ultimate up, but it should be up shortly. A lot of damage hitting Funballer yet again. The heal from Rod's going to come out, but of course they don't have the gusto to kind of go there and go for that mid tower and to drop down a half HP, but wasn't enough. The mid camp on the upside is up. The Fire Giant is standing, but the Gold Fury will be down for another minute and 15 seconds or so. We're going to see the mid camp drop pretty quickly here to Shadow Nightmare. Nope, Hog comes out and the basic attack comes out as well. Looks like that was a 1 to each team kind of situation. There is still a movement speed buff on the map. I imagine you're going to see Kibo Fred head over there and pick it up. But looking at the numbers right now, 776 in favor of TSM, 300 experience in favor of TSM as well. I mean, it's effectively even.
Yeah, the game's dead even, and unfortunately there for Exec, they didn't get too much out of that 4-man kill. Only the tier 1 tower in the mid. Gold Fury, as we mentioned, already down, and maybe better off to just go power through the left side tier 1 instead of trying to aggress into that tier 2, where Giannis was there able to hold it, but he's probably more mobile than most of their team, if not the entire team combined there. So it would have been tough to capitalize either way, but I would have liked to see them get a little bit more out of that, because they're still only drawing parity, and TSM with the Thanatos and the Anhur and the Giannis and the Zhonghui will have an extremely strong mid-game phase as it starts about now. Their next 10 minutes are really powerful until Funballer comes online as a hyper carry.
Left side damage coming out for half double. Going to hit Zimtar, dropping him low here. Rollout comes out, but it might not be in time. Zimtar going to fall here to Funball's ultimate. What's the shot? There's the Astral Barrage. One more shot will hit Smek. Wow! Does he dive the tower? Frostiak going in. Slice and dice. Good impale. Desert Fury as well. The Retribution! He didn't stop the ultimate. Frostiak reflects it all back and gets the kill. Keyword for over here. Here comes the hit from Game Hunter as well. Damage out from Lobster, slowing down half double. Good stun in AoE, looking for Frostiak. The Ghost will be coming through yet again. There goes the hit. Portal in the ground on Funballer, forcing him back in the fight, but I think they're all out of missiles in their silo.
Yeah, I think so as well, as that Amir bomb did drop earlier. It did so much damage to Geb as well. That Amir ultimate just so damaging if you're able to channel it for the full duration here. Right side lane, Zayle's going to find himself a bit of split push. May not be able to take the tower down, but they will take the tier 1 on the left, will expose secrets, and now they're going to start pulling ahead in gold ever so slightly, about 400, 500 gold, but they will get even more experience off the back of those additional player kills and towers, 2,200 to their name as the right side tier 1 falls as well. They've got some nice map control on the back of that last fight.
Wow. Nemesis shield. It's hard. Press 3.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, that's really tough.
I mean, at that point, right, because of travel time, for those people that are going to start giving criticism, it's look for the Gold Fury here, and we'll talk about that in a second. Damage going to come out here. Good ultimate there from Zimstar, slowing them down. Impale on half double, forcing him away. Great wall to slow them down as well. The Gold Fury has yet to be unleashed just yet. Oh, Thanos up in the air, looking for the dunk. Can Kibo Fred go over here and pick off the kick? Gotta get a blink away from it! Into an ultimate to get a kill! Zimstar going down. Lobster dropping low. He's by himself. Nowhere to go. The damage going to come out here. Exposed Secrets on a killing spree. It's going to be a 2-for-1 so far. Frostiak dropping to the portal. He's going to die to the damage from Game Hunter. Game Hunter disengaging through the mid lane here. Second place going to come out, going to hit Kibo, but Kibo will end up dying to Zalia. Triple kill. What in the world is happening right now, Bart?
And now Smek's gone in, but he's going to die as well to Zalia here, most likely. One more shot taking this guy's Zalia, putting out some damage to the Game Hunter as well.
Ultimate.
Game Hunter has no more mana, and Zalia has the Quadra. He may find a Penta here. Actually, he's going to pulse Game Hunter. Game Hunter going to use the Aegis. Does he have enough mana to use a portal, get through Zalia, missing some shots? Game Hunter juking. He's going to need about 5 more hits, and no, he will not be able to pursue this for the Penta, but a quad kill coming out nonetheless for the Exec solo laner of Zalia. And it's not even really on the back of like, oh yeah, he's got so much solo lane farm and he just, just rotated over and crit everybody. This is just Fatalis and not even a completed demonic grip when it came out. Just pure positioning and damage from the Freya there. Great stuff from Zalia, bringing himself to 6-2, and Exec pulling ahead by 2,700 gold and 5,000 experience. And once again, Shadow Nightmare hits a crucial snipe in that team fight.
A lot of it, what it comes down to, right, is the fact that TSM committed very hard to killing Half Devil, and Half Devil had a very strong play. But you're exactly right. I mean, Zalia did not have a strong laning phase, but that's what we talked about in the picking stage. That you know, realistically, Azalea's probably going to lose the laning phase, but he's still Freya late game. Game Hunter, you can see currently 2.5 KDA, 478 GPM across the Azalea. He's got 1.8 KDA and 410 GPM, so a lot less. Azalea hasn't had a whole lot of success just yet in the SPL, considering the fact that Game Hunter started the SPL very poorly and now it's starting to raise his stats up. Azalea is on the same pain train right now, but yeah, I mean, they committed a lot to Half Devil, didn't get the kill, and that's hurting them as you see Half Devil initiating again.
Zimstar on the left side is going to try to deal with Zalia, who's, well, has a sprint popped and is just going to town. Zimstar tries to roll away, but the Fatalis plus the sprint just too much. Cannot pull away from the Queen of the Valkyries, finding himself another kill as Zalia. And yeah, as you mentioned, his KD has suffered, but Zalia's also played some really, really bizarre picks so far in that solo lane. Nothing conventional yet for him.
Well, conventional might not be a bad idea at this point. Both teams really struggling. You do have a rod attempt coming out from Azalea to pick that up pretty shortly here. Mid tower will fall to Exposed Secrets. Again, Exposed Secrets is 1 and 2 right now, and TSM is not really looking too great with their 2 and 3. So after this, TSM would move to 2 and 4, and Exposed Secrets to 2 and 2 if this does go to Exposed Secrets. Looking for a kill here on Game Hunter. Game Hunter dropping very low. Popping Aegis may not be good timing though. Popping the ultimate on Amir is going to be enough. Azalea gets the kill, tries to go for the portal, but getting picked off like that is not a good look for TSM. Cubo Fred taking a lot of increased damage here, dropping low. He's going to fall as well. Azalea getting a double kill, looking for another triple kill. Can he find it? Looking for Spec and Pale to push him back away from the fight. Zimstar in trouble, dropping low, gets slowed by Funball, blocked away by the wall. The rollout's not going to be enough. Zimstar will fall to Funballer. That's going to be a 3-for-0 exchange. The mid Phoenix is under pressure here. They're pushing into the enemy base, and TSM does not have an answer.
Well, that 2 ultimates available. One on Smek, one on... No, Lobsters is down. I'm sorry. That was Game Hunter's ultimate still in line, but he's not up for another 30 seconds. Mid Phoenix to go down there, but their damage not quite high enough to try to push in and, well, really break the base just yet. Falling back is Exposed Secrets. The question is, are they going to go for the Fire Giant? It looks like if they're shading this way, at least they will get spotted out by this Tier Monster Ward Skin here as they pull away from the mid lane. There is no ward coverage of the Fire Giant pit itself, and Exposed Secrets going to pile in. Do they have the damage and time? Half Devil's ultimate not aligned. In fact, none of their ultimates rather online so far. They're going to try to go zone out a couple more members of TSM, but looks like it's going to be an easily secured Fire Giant there. Now rolling forward is one ball. Barely missing that cripple strike. Lobster the one is in trouble as Zalia rotates around. A nicely placed pillar again by Smek there to hold them out of the base. And, you know, TSM tried to respond and maybe find a pick there at the end, but nothing doing. And Exposed Secret's going to fall back with their advantage and their Fire Giant buff. 7,000 gold and 10,000 experience ahead to their name.
This got turned around so quickly, and a lot of it comes down to the fact that Shadow Nightmare really made a lot of plays during the Gold Fury transition for TSM when they're trying to scale up their lead. And it came to the point where Exposed Secrets just held off TSM from getting too far ahead before, you know, their late game carries can kind of activate. You know, you're seeing a lot of damage from Funball, a lot of damage from Zalia. Even Frostic now hitting really hard. Looks like he's going for a Rage or a Deathbringer here. So the kind of crit build we saw from Nemesis earlier this week, which worked so incredibly well. And so, you know, the question is, can Exposed Secrets keep this ball rolling? I mean, look at TSM. They're looking at a 7.3K deficit. The experience is over 10K, which is really when you start to feel it. You got 2 level 20s on the side of Exposed Secrets. You got a level 12, 16 on Smek, kind of trailing behind there. So as far as itemization goes, Exposed Secrets is building all offense, though. So that may be something that TSM can look to exploit if they get some good picks, but they got to be perfect.
Yeah, and Exposed Secrets taken to the left side of the map, becoming a more and more popular, really not even popular, more and more standard strategy from teams all around the world is to pressure this left side lane before all others. As we mentioned, it was it's this kind of strategy of if you can take down the Phoenix on the lane that is furthest from the Fire Giant, you can force them to try to babysit that lane when you go to Fire Giant. If they take 5 to go and try to defend, they're going to end up taking a lot of tower damage, a lot of Titan damage as that Phoenix is down and the Fire Minions stream in.
Yeah, they're streaming in shortly. The mid Phoenix is down. Good counter warding on this side. Look at this. I mean, you see Exposed Secrets actually putting sentry wards in the enemy jungle just to stop their defensive wards so they don't have no vision. I mean, if you're at the point, Knight, where you're 10,000 gold in the lead, and you counter their vision, they're just in the darkness. That's a horrible feeling as a team who's pushed back into a corner here. And so they have to pull that turtle strategy. They're hiding behind the wall looking for a counter. Maybe seeing Exposed Secrets go on the left side. In the front, it's Half Devil in the front. For TSM, it's going to be Zimstar. Good shockwave to force him away. And Obelisk is there as well. They do have a pretty good turtle team on the side of TSM. They got an Obelisk. They got a shockwave. Portals, of course, will buy some time. They got a slow from Lobster, good AoE ultimate. But the question is, can they actually stop the single target damage dealers, right? A good Ra ultimate and Freya sticking to a target is going to kill him outright. You've got Rom ultimate. If you try to kill Rom, he's going to go in the air. If you try to kill Freya, she's going to go in the air. They have a lot of delay mechanics here on the side of Exposed Secrets, so TSM needs a good fight.
They need something. Well, what they really need is they need an extended fight. where Giannis is chipping away at them, and then Lobster's able to get in there and channel basically a full ultimate on the entire team. Cubefred's taking this guy, and actually it's a full-on retreat coming out from Exposed Secrets. The Shadow Mirror gets fairly low, taking this guy down as Funball, throwing out his ultimate as well, doing some nice damage there. In fact, a tremendous amount of damage, hitting multiple targets. And this is pretty nice for Exposed Secrets. A lot of ultimates use only one available. Excuse me, only one available now on the side of TSM. But they're able to heal back up to full with a Fire Giant buff and the Raw ultimate and move back in. And now with all the ultimates down, it's definitely advantage Exposed Secrets. They have the big item advantage.
Uh-oh, Cubefred dropping low, double bandage. It's going to be a very bad look here for CSM. Jumping the wall is Smek. Cubo needs to get out of the fight. Cannot go down here. Nice stun there from Lobster. Back to the wall goes Cubo. They're still standing, but it's the Raw heals that are making it so difficult for TSM to do anything. And we saw the ultimate come out from Game Hunter, hitting a long-range ult on Shadow Nightmare, dropping him down to a 5% HP. And then a second later, he was at 80%. They just heal so fast. The Baby Phoenix is going to come back up from the Ash Tier and it instantly burned back down as Exposed Secrets will take it out. The only remaining Phoenix will be the right side Phoenix. At this point, they're currently sitting at 11.6k gold behind. It's going to become a 13k lead for Exposed Secrets when this tower does fall. There's nothing that TSM can do about it. The Fire Giant buff will only last another 15 seconds or so. This is going to fall off very shortly, and I think Exposed Secrets recognizes that. They're going to head home.
Yeah, they got a lot of gold in hand each. 2K, over 2K. The highest gold on was on the Half Devil there, actually, as he finishes off his Adventurer's Blade. I'm sorry, the Wing Blade, as we suspected he might just... well, not on this side, though. There's so much slows on the side of XX. I was expecting TSM to maybe try to pick up one here, but they've gotten themselves so far behind at this point that they have to just try to tank up little by little on their frontline targets. And, well, you know, Zimstar is having a tough game here at 0-8-4 on the Geb and just not getting a lot of... I mean, he has the least amount of assists on his team, which is just a rough place to be in as a support.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, supports need to be tanky, but I mean, level 13, it's not easy. It really isn't. I mean, it's kind of feeling that kind of thought process that you know, we saw Trickstank feel the other day on Amir 0 and 13, just not having a good day. But you know, starting into this, it really was a favored fight for TSM. We thought it was going to be you know, a bit of a stomp here for TSM, the way they've been playing, the way Exposed Secrets have been playing. But Exposed Secrets stepped up to the plate today. Shadow Nightmare finding the essence that made him one of the best mid laners in the entire game before, so definitely a big thing for him. But looking at the itemization so far, Zalia's finished off that Rod. Shadow Nightmare's finished off his as well. Deathbringer and Rage done for Frostiak and Funball respectively. And we do have Half Devil with a Wing Blade, so he can't even be slowed at this point. Look across the way, they need the slow from Thanatos, the slow from Gab, the slow from John Quay, and even the slow from Giannis cannot actually do it. Even on the Albus from Honor, he'll be able to walk right through it with that Winged Blade. So, you know, you can't even stop the initiation from Half Devil even with that greater blink on cooldown.
Yeah, you know, it's maybe it's kind of weird, but maybe at this stage the Combat Blink would have been better to go and soak some damage. Force them to spread out, right, as they think you're going to walk in an ult and then Combat Blink and go on the one target you want to burst down with Fred on the Thanatos ultimate and then try to make room for Lobster in these fights. That's been really the main thing, is Lobster can't get to the front lines here as he's just getting demolished anytime he does. Just routine amounts of damage coming through, and this time it's going to be Game Hunter finding his damage. Half Devil going to get executed now as Cubefred jumps in, taking a lot of damage to Shadow Nightmare as well. Funball is actually going to pick up Lobster, but a nice hold by TSM for now. Zimstar not going to fall. Yes, he will, as Funballer's ultimate comes through over the top. Double kill for the captain of Exposed Secrets. And Game Hunter continuing to chip away at them. And this is the problem. The longer these holds, quote unquote, go on, the more that the more that Game Hunter can just toss in those Unstable Vortex time after time, and eventually they find a good opportunity to initiate like they did just a moment ago with Cubefred finding that kill onto Half Devil.
Exposed Secrets now pushing the right. Phoenix is going to fall. Titan's under pressure here. It's dropping very low. Game Hunter trying to defend it, but the Phoenix minions are doing so much damage. Pushing in his 3 members from Exposed Secrets. They just have to do a little bit to the Titan. The Titan's so very low. I don't know why they're not just going for it here. Now, they could flop and make everything terrible, but...
Funball's going to go.
I mean, you got an ultimate from Shadow Nightmare soon, or there's the...
Raheel did it.
The minions and the heal. And
Raheel did it. Maybe Funball thrown in a Astral Arrow through the wall there, but TSM will fall as their Titan is laying there dead on the ground. Exposed Secrets brings victory to the Chaos side one more time, and well, there you can see that production has failed. Failed us once again. Come on, Adonis, get it together. Come on, Pon, get it together. One of you ex-pro players is messing something up, but now, of course, we do love our production team, and hats off to them. We think the Pro League looks great, and we hope you guys do as well. But this time, looking great is Exposed Secrets. TSM struggling there, and this is really the first game where we've seen a previously super dominant solo laner in the European scene, one of the most inventive players and one of, as I said, the most dominant players in Zalia really come online, just like we saw from Game Hunter in the previous game. Take a look at Zalia. This has got to be his quadra kill.
Well, let's see here. I mean, the stats coming up here from behind. There's the bench. He
Managed
takes
that
it very
ward,
slow
though.
here. He's kind of entering from the backside, looking for the poke. Now, he starts with the squishy character, of course. He's going to force Smek out of the fight. Now, looking for the kill on Zipstar, going to find it. Now, looking for Lobster. And he's very systematic. He's looking for the characters that are guaranteed to fight. He doesn't expose himself too much. Good impale there from Smek. He's actually going to run over here and help his teammates. Instead of chasing the kill, he's looking for the kill that is guaranteed. And he's being very cautious. And this is how you play a strong assassin. Start the team fight out with a good flank, and then reset and play defensively. Don't actually let anyone get too close to you. There goes the jump, but it's not going to be enough. Ultimate comes on out there, and there goes a quadra kill for Zalia. Can't find Game Hunter, of course, because he is just so darn tanky, able to pick up a lot of HP early with that ethereal staff.
Yeah, the ages
but
as well.
A quadra kill, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, just moments of cooldown timing being off to get that pentakill. Basically, a Radiate was not available because of the Aegis timing. Kept it from being able to do enough damage, and then Game Hunter able to port away. But nearly a penta there for Zalia. Does find a competitive quadra. And in one final stat from the game here, looking it over one more time, the structure damage row, only Game Hunter hit a tower on the side of TSM in this entire game. They got really actually pretty well manhandled by Exec. It looked pretty good for them, though, with that early first blood on a Thanatos. Could they snowball it into anything else? Fortunately, no. The game does go the way of exposed secrets. Of course, TSM playing one man down with Zibstar, their manager and coach, filling in for that 5th position role onto Geb. Kind of tough to play with someone who doesn't always play on your team. But up next, guys, is going to be patch notes starting. Well, you got about 40 minutes before those do go live. At 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it'll be with me and Kelly, so be sure to tune in for that. For Jybear, I have been hi-rez Bart, and for everybody on our production staff and everyone watching and all the players, thank you for tuning in, guys. It's been a lot of fun, and we'll be back after patch notes as well with the North American games tonight starting at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Pre-game show at 7. We'll see you then.